lower body twisting. So take it out so that you're scooting up and your knees are a little bit wide, and we're going to just do a little bit of that windshield wiper movement. Remember where we're kind of edging the foot and we're dropping the knee, and you should be able to slide on your chair. You want to make sure that you're always feeling that you have that mobility and that looseness in your hips. Now, when your knees are one way, you're going to turn and look over the opposite shoulder. Good, and then do that. And then do that again. Twisting. And for those of you who can, maybe scoot that back leg back a little bit so you can straighten it a little bit more. Good. Good. And good. Okay, so when I look around the room, it's a really interesting thing that I see, and I just want to point this out. One of the most important muscles of our gait muscles is our hip flexor, this muscle here. And remember when we're sitting down, how contracted and tight this one is? But when you walk, this is the muscle that stretches, right? So when you're walking, this one pulls you up, and this one goes back, and this one pulls you up. So the ability to actually have a stretch in this muscle is important. That's why this movement is the movement that does it. So for some of you, and I don't know if it's because you have tight hip flexors or you're not experiencing the feeling much, you're scooted up like this. So you still have this angle here, which is a tightness in your hip. So if you can possibly take that foot back and your knee faces the floor, then you have that stretch, which is a little bit deeper. It's a little deeper, but that's the feeling you want to have to open up your hips, and then just walk it over to the other side. And this is why sliding is important on your chair. Good. And then we'll do it again. Do you feel that? Do you feel that? There's a little deeper stretch there. And it's easing into it, right? You never want to overstretch. Did I tell you about the time that I taught chair yoga and a guy pulled his groin muscle? Oh my gosh. Okay, come back. I went and I talked at the Vista Adobe. You know, they're a historical society, so they wanted to have a guest speaker for their lunch, and they invited me. So I did a couple of movements, probably 3 or 4. And so the next year I came for the same, purpose. And one of the wives said, my husband didn't come this time because last time he pulled his groin muscle in your class. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I felt so bad. But the whole point is that you have got to monitor yourself. I'm inviting you and I'm teaching you and I'm educating you, but it's really your body to know what to do or not. And sometimes you compete with yourself, and I realize that. So we're going to do the hip flexor trio. So talked about the psoas muscle being here. There's other muscles here called the hip flexors. So we're going to open up this area in 3 different stretches. So the hands are on the chair, your feet are parallel, and you're going to take your left foot back like a warrior 1. Okay? Your right knee is going to bend. So as soon as you do that, you're holding on, you should feel your left hip. Do you feel that left hip stretching? Absolutely, right? So that's your hip flexors that we're going to be stretching. When you take your left arm up, 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 you feel a deeper stretch. And why is that? Because that muscle, the psoas muscle, is connected to your ribs. And when you lift your arm up, the ribs lift up. That's why we're stretching that. Good. Now, we're going to take the hand to the hip, and we're going to turn and look over our left shoulder. So we're going to take that little hip flexor, and we're going to stretch it a little bit sideways. Good. Bring it back. Then reach that left arm up, and then we're going to go half moon. So take a breath, and exhale. We're going to take that hand over the left ear, sideways. Oh, that's the juicy one, huh? Inhale, back up, and then the hand goes down, and we're going to walk it forward. We'll take it to the other side. Oh, just stand right here. Does anyone feel that side's a little bit more stretched, a little more open? You can feel that. Just like we felt that in our shoulders when we did those movements, you feel that in your hip. Okay, so the left foot is going to stay, the right foot's going to step back, and then we'll bend the left knee. So just take a pause. Just acknowledge where we're stretching, right in here. Now, right arm up, the palm is facing in. Yeah, so that stretches that one a little bit more. Good. And then the hand on the hip, and here we go. We're going to turn to the right, but keep the left knee facing forward. So opening up that hip a little more. Good. Coming back to the center. Reaching that right arm up. Take a breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale, we're tilting to the left. That's the deepest, deepest part of this stretch. Good. Inhale, coming all the way back up. And then exhale, coming back to the center. All right, and shake it out. You're not doing it right. It's okay. It's okay. We don't give any grades in yoga.